Seeking a bipartisan compromise to avoid a government shutdown, President Donald Trump suggested Tuesday that an immigration deal could be reached in two phases, first by addressing young immigrants and border security with what he called a bill of love, then by making comprehensive changes that have long eluded Congress. Trump presided over a lengthy meeting with Republican and Democratic lawmakers seeking a solution for hundreds of thousands of young people who were brought to the U.S. as children and living here illegally. Trump last year ended the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which shielded more than 700,000 people from deportation and gave them the right to work legally. He gave Congress until March to find a fix. The president, congressional Republicans and Democrats expressed optimism for a deal just 10 days before a government shutdown deadline. Trump said he was willing to be flexible in finding an agreement as Democrats warned that the lives of hundreds of thousands of immigrants hung in the balance. "I think my positions are going to be what the people in this room come up with," Trump said during a cabinet room meeting with a bipartisan group of nearly 24 lawmakers, adding, "I am very much reliant upon the people in this room." A group of journalists observed the meandering meeting for an extraordinary length of time, about 55 minutes, that involved Trump seeking input from Democrats and Republicans alike in a freewheeling exchange on the contentious issue. The White House said after the meeting that lawmakers had agreed to narrow the scope of the negotiations to 4 areas: border security, family-based chain migration, the visa lottery, and the DACA policy, winning nods from Democrats. "It's encouraging that the president seems open to a narrow deal protecting the Dreamers," said Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer of New York. The unusually public meeting laid bare a back-and-forth between the parties more typically confined to closed-door negotiations. At one point, California Sen. Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat, asked Trump if he would support a clean DACA bill now with a commitment to pursue a comprehensive immigration overhaul later. Trump responded, "I would like it. I think a lot of people would like to see that, but I think we have to do DACA first." House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, R. California, interjected, saying, "Mr. President, you need to be clear though, that legislation involving the so-called Dreamers would need to include border security." Trump also suggested bringing back earmarks, or money for pet projects requested by lawmakers, as a way to bridge the divide between the two parties. Conservative groups responded that any resumption of earmarks ran the risk of special interests playing a bigger role in government, a notion at odds with Trump's "drain the swamp" campaign mantra. On immigration, the president said he would insist on construction of a border security wall as part of an agreement involving young immigrants, but he said Congress could then pursue a comprehensive immigration overhaul in a second phase of talks. House Republicans said they plan to soon introduce legislation to address border security and the young immigrants.